Go ahead and say so. I'm going to look up a recipe, see if we can do something with them.
Deep fry 'em.
Yeah, you ain't deep frying.
It's always fun to try something new, right?
It is, but if it don't taste good, then no, it's not fun.
You sound eager about trying something new.
You want to try something new that tastes good. I'm excited about
You
that.
know, it won't taste good.
I don't. But you have to guarantee that. You have to.
You got its kidneys in it still, too. Well, you'll cut them out eventually.
Stop being so mean, Jonathan. It's too early.
Alright. The reason why we do rabbits, I like to do rabbits when I can get them in, is because breaking it down is very similar. If you look at the body structure, very similar to a cow or a pig. You can't get a whole pig in. It costs too much. Whole cow, we don't have the room to do it, right?
We
So
don't.
breaking this down is very similar to that. We're going to start up by the head. So all we're going to want to do is make a few little cuts. Start getting the leg off. And if you see, the leg bone actually comes back over here. This is basically like the thigh right here. You can see. Good thing is you can see, because they're so lean, you can see the bone, the skeletal structure. So it makes it a little easier to cut. On a cow or a pig where there's a lot more fat, you've really got to. That's why in the slides we show you the pictures of the bones, because you really got to kind of almost know where they're at and know where to feel for them, because there's so much fat around them that sometimes it's really hard to actually see.
Make it look so easy.
It's not that hard.
Okay.
Like I said, the livers fell out. These still have the kidneys. We're going to do almost the same thing with these. These we'll have to separate. We'll have to pop the joint a little bit.
Okay.
There's a bone right here. You just trace around it.
Almost like how you pop the thighs out of
Chicken almost, but you're starting with a cut first. You can see the backbone right here. It kind of gives you a guide of where to trace. We're just going to go around and do it on both sides.
See it.
And if you look, you can see also how the legs go, because the stomach cavity starts up here. Here's the legs. And once we got it here, I'm just going to separate it out. All right. At times you're going to need to use your knife. Now when we're using, you're going to see me hitting with the knife, all right? Breaking bones and stuff. Always do it with the back end of your knife, because that's the sturdier part. The tip is meant more for fine cutting and all that. If you damage that, then your knife's done.
Okay.
So whenever you're doing stuff about fabricating and all that, always try to use the back end towards the heel of the knife. Just watch your fingers. Alright, now we're going to cut some of this belly fat off. This would be, it's not really fat, this belly meat. This would be good meat, but one, it's real thin. Two, it's going to be real tough. Because you guys ever seen, you've seen a live rabbit before, right? How do they breathe?
Fast.
Really rapping really fast, right? And when you breathe, your whole stomach cavity, your lungs and everything is moving, right?
So their muscle.
Their stomach muscles get used.
Just say if you did want to cook that, what's a good method to get that to?
I wouldn't even waste cooking it. I'd just throw it into a stock or something. Because by the time you cook it to break it down with how small it is, it's going to be gone. There's not going to be much left of it. Then up here is the breast meat. We're going to cut this fat and these kidneys out.
Shut up, Peter.
Peter, it's little bunny foo-foo.
Don't say that, Chef.
All right, then right here down by the thigh joints, I don't really need this anymore because we're just going to be getting the breast. We get rid of that. Cleavers could be good for it. I was going to get the cleaver I have out in there, but then I figured I'll show you guys how to do it without it because you guys don't have a cleaver on you. But yeah, cleavers are excellent for this. Neck bone. Remember, like I said, I'm using the back of the knife all the time. All right, now we can see here where the cavity comes together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do get it.
Crunchy, crunchy. Breast looks so lean. It looks very lean.
It is.
Rabbit is like going to be like the new health meat, right? It's on
Yeah,
that way.
it could be.
Well, you say that, Curtis. You see it more in the stores now?
And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it just simply because it's lean, it's not a lot of fat.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's faster moving.
Actually, not a whole lot of meat right there. If we wanted to, we could chop the saddle down a little bit more.
Call it a saddle? I see.
All that's used for stock.
And that's
And then we could do this whole roasted. You could break it down if you want, but if you look at it,
bonus out there.
it's still a good bit of bone going down the center. So we come right along here, along the backbone, just like with chicken. This is where your loins are going to be. Now, if you want, you could have roasted that whole.
If you roast the whole, you get a better flavor because of the bones.
You will get
You
some
will.
a little bit more flavor, but it does take a lot. It does take longer. So it all really depends on how much time you got. And you want to roll over a little bit. Make sure you get this little piece of meat in the back too, here underneath here too.
So without the bones, what, like an hour, hour and a half?
It just depends on the size and how your oven runs. And again, we're gonna come right along here.
It looks like just about most meat is on the legs.
Well, it's got some really good meat on the legs, and these loins are actually really good too.
So like I said, it's the best one.
You gotta watch. There is a bone here. It's not really. It's not a wishbone,
Mhm.
but it'll go out like a wishbone on a chicken will.
Okay. Okay.
And all this over here can be used for stock. And then obviously you've got your leg quarters, front legs. They have a little bit of meat on them. Clean up some of this fat.
It's my grandmother used to fix rabbit with gravy.
Mm-hmm.
I like it if you dust it with flour really good and make and braise it with some onions and other stuff. Make like you do a braised chicken, chicken like
Smother?
smothered chicken.
That's how my mom made it.
Do it with do the rabbit that way.
She'd fry it and then she put it down in the gravy with the onions, with the roux. She put a little wine in there for that flavor, peppers.
All right, and that's our. And then, like I said, we have the livers in there too, but I didn't realize they packed it with it. So, any questions?